is Phyllis Pollack, and I am a full-time mediator. I have a website, pgpmediation.com, on which I have been posting a blog just about every Friday for the last 10 years. Today, I decided to provide an audio version of the blog post, and it is entitled Mediation Skills in Everyday Life. While I use my skills to mediate cases and also teach mediation, very rarely do I have to actually use these skills in everyday life. But recently, a situation arose in which my mediation training kicked in, and I was very content about the outcome. The situation was as follows. Recently, my husband decided to buy some windshield wiper blades at Costco for our Audi. And when he took the Audi in for repair, he took the blades with them, and he asked the repair person to install the blades on the windshield wipers. Lo and behold, the repair person said that they were the wrong blades and that he would instead order the correct one for us. So about a week or so later, the repair shop called to say that the new windshield wiper blades were in and we should bring the Audi by so that they could be installed. And while the blades for the front windshield were correct, the windshield wiper blade for the back windshield was wrong, and so had to be reordered. So a week or so later, I called the repair shop to see if the new blade for the back window had arrived. One of the employees, who I will call John, answered the phone, and he sounded very angry and upset. And his tone with me was very curt and abrupt, as if I had done something wrong. Rather than reacting to his tone and, going off on him, the mediator in me was invoked, and I did not react. I simply remained polite, and I thanked him. An hour or so later, John called asking for my husband. I told him that my husband was not there, but that I am his wife. Could I help him? And this seemed to upset him because he did not have my name in his computer. He only had the name of my husband. And he went round and around with me about my being a different person than what was listed in the computer, and how my answering the phone as a different person just was very upsetting to him and seemed all wrong, and it seemed very frustrating to him. To him, the fact that my name was not in his computer record was a, quote, another mistake, end quote, that the repair shop had made. After a few minutes, we got past that, and he told me that he had ordered the new blade and it would be in by noon. Again, his tone on the phone was one of anger, frustration, and being very upset. And again, rather than my reacting to the tone and going off on him and getting nasty back, I just simply commented that it sounded as though he was angry and asked him what was wrong. And he began to explain that he was frustrated about all the mistakes that the repair shop was making, and that he was the one who had to, quote, clean them up. I tried in the nicest way, using my best mediation approach, to explain that his tone made it sound as if I had done something wrong rather than others. I remained polite and thanked him for the call. Later that day, I went into the repair shop to get the new blade, and John immediately handed me a 3 or 4 page note of apology, explaining that the repair shop had made many mistakes with my rear window wiper blade, and that he was simply trying to correct the problems, and he got very frustrated about the whole thing. After reading the note, I accepted the apology, and again, using my mediation training in the nicest way, explained that unintentionally he comes off as being very angry and is thus taking his frustration with his fellow employees out on the customers, which obviously is not a good thing. He mentioned that he was having the same issue with his wife, and that he finds that the best way to deal with it is simply to walk away, write a note of explanation and hand it to her. And I suggested that it would probably be a good idea to be very transparent with his wife, tell her what his mode of operation is and why, or to essentially to communicate and be very transparent with her. He also noted that his wife complains to him that he's not supportive. And so I suggested that he simply ask her, how could he be more supportive? What does she want in the way of support from him? I also suggested, obviously, that he and his wife attend counseling and try to save their marriage. So after he installed the blade, I asked him how much it was, and he refused payment. I guess the moral is that being able to actively listen and try to figure out what's really going on with someone rather than simply reacting to someone's tone is crucial, not only in a mediation setting, but in everyday life. I drove away from the repair shop feeling that perhaps I'd helped somebody that day improve his most important relationship, his marriage. Uh, as I've said often, it's all about transparency and communication. And as I explained to him, one cannot assume that the other one knows what you are thinking or why you are doing something. You have to be transparent, you have to communicate, and you have to explain yourself. We are not mind readers. And as I suggested to him, while we can control our own actions, we cannot control how others respond to what we are doing or what we are saying. And that is why it is so very crucial to communicate and to be transparent so that others do not take what you're doing or what you're saying the wrong way. So the moral is be transparent and communicate. And it's just something, to think about as you go through life. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.